When we started working on a show about interracial dating, I had a lot of judgment. But I have to acknowledge that dating black men can be hard as hell. We give the girls a chop if they're too feminine, not top enough, or not bottom enough, or not versatile enough, or we filter them out based on HIV status, or if the vibe is right. A lot of those could actually be great filters for your dating life. But the fact is, in our culture, dating is hard to do. While I don't fully understand it, I can at least see why some of us turn to dating those who are not in our culture. But my question is, can they fully see us? If so, how? And if not, does it even matter? I haven't dated a white man in a very long time, but my guest tonight has not seriously dated a black man ever. And I admit this topic is a bit dense for me, so I'm gonna need your help. So if I sound like I'm losing my compassion or I'm going in a little too hard, I want you to type judgy in the comments. As always, if you're loving this content, you can support us by shopping Dear Black Gay Men merch at dearblackgaymen.shop. We drop new colors in our hats, hoodies, and short sets, so pick you up a piece. You can use code PEGO_Chiago to take 15% off your first purchase. That's dearblackgaymen.shop. Now, let's get into it. Okay, teammates, this one might have me in the hot seat tonight, but I truly want to understand what it is. What is it with love across the racial lines? Join me in finding out about interracial dating explained. And the show starts right now. What up, though? Jay the Gentleman here. That's Jai, the Gentleman on IG and Facebook. And welcome to Thirsty Thursday, right here on Dear Black Gay Men podcast. Tonight's guest is a rapper, songwriter, and he's got a new EP out called Minds. Please welcome Saint Ahmad. How are you doing, Pumpkin?
Hey, how are you? What's up, Jay?
I am doing unbelievably. This is going to be a very, very good episode to me. I'm excited. Like, I'm overjoyed about this one.
I'm excited as well. Thank you for having me.
Now, before we start recording, you said this is a good conversation to have among black men. Why do you think that?
Because I think that gay black men are very judgmental about each other in the gay community, and I think they're also very judgmental about how other gay black men live their life or date specifically, you know?
Okay. So we're going to explore that, but clearly I'm going to need a cocktail. Are you drinking anything with us tonight?
I'm having water.
Oh, God bless you. I'm not so pure tonight.
I'm a lightweight. I cannot drink too much, y'all.
You a lightweight? Oh, okay.
I didn't grow up drinking, so
we all were a lightweight once upon a time, hopefully. But I am definitely having a cocktail, and I still want to give a special thanks to Bottled for being a continued sponsor of Thirsty Thursday and providing us with deliciously crafted cocktails. To pick up your bottled cocktail, visit bottled.co and use our exclusive coupon code at checkout for 15% off and free shipping. Remember, for bottled cocktails, shake and pour over ice. Are you ready for this, Saint?
I am.
All right, let's get into the episode. All right, teammates, there's always so much happening in black gay culture, so I want to hear y'all's thoughts on this week's current events. First, Whoopi Goldberg appeared on The Don Lemon Show and asserted that she prefers a hit and run and does not want to be married. We talk a lot about the people in their sex lives, but what about people who don't have a date drive? Have you ever been in a situation, met somebody who was like, dating is not for me?
Of course, a lot. I feel like that's a lot of gay people.
So do you think that's a form of asexuality?
No, I just think that some people don't want an emotional connection. They don't want that emotional dependency. They want to focus on themselves.
But do you think we can stop there? Like, Whoopi Goldberg is old. I know,
but she's also
seasoned.
She's also a Scorpio, and I feel like Scorpios are very freaky. They're very secretive. Agreed. They love to hit. They're very, very hit it and quit it people.
What I say, hit it and quit. See, all the Scorpios that I've encountered wanted to cuff me, but they were crazy.
My first boyfriend was a Scorpio.
Okay.
Very freaky. But
Now
he was
they are very freaky now. I'll give you that. But in gay culture, very freaky is a sliding scale. A lot of us are very freaky. We all got a kink for something.
I guess I'm considered vanilla though. I took a quiz.
You're considered, okay, why do you think you're vanilla?
I don't have any kinks or fetishes.
You don't have a single one. I find that hard to believe.
I don't. I really don't.
So you like dick and ass and that's it?
Pretty much.
Have you had sex in public?
But that's not like a fetish. That's not like something I like go out and seek. But like if I was on Sniffies and the guy was like, "Oh, pull up to the bathroom" or something, that could be a vibe. That could happen.
That is a kink.
But that's not. I feel like a kink is when you specifically have something that you like and need or you crave.
It can be. A kink could also just be something that you're open for, that you're open to.
Oh, okay. Okay, well,
like there are many people who are open to golden showers, but they don't go looking for piss.
But then their kink could be golden showers because that's what they get off on, no?
So when you had sex in public, you didn't get off on the idea that, oh, I could be caught or that people could be watching. You didn't get off on any of that.
I wasn't thinking like that. No, I was just like, let's just have sex. Sure, it's in a public area. Okay, great. This is fun. I'm a little stressed because someone might walk in.
But the little stress didn't give you it didn't make it hotter?
No.
Huh. I have never met someone that was that vanilla. Never have I ever. It could also be that you just haven't discovered your kink.
Yeah, I feel like maybe it's just I haven't fully discovered it. Maybe group sex could be a kink if that is a kink, because I think. Okay, so then I like group sex, so maybe that's like a kink.
Okay, so what about group sex do you like?
I like that you can try multiple different options in the span of like maybe an hour or two.
Yes. That novelty is a kink.
So okay, great. We found a kink. Novelty
is a kink. It is in a setting you can have a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this person's stroke, a little bit of this person's boot. Novelty is also a kink.
Yeah, I like that. I like the group sex aesthetic.
Do you like being watched or watching in a group setting?
You can watch, but don't let me know you're watching.
What?
You can how I don't want to make eye contact with you. I don't want to like turn and see you watching me, but like, sure, watch.
Okay, so you're not turned on by the idea of someone watching you.
No.
Are you turned on by the idea of watching somebody else?
Sure. I mean, that's like watching porn though, no?
I mean, I'm asking you.
Sure.
All of these things are kinks of mine. So let's just be clear. In this vein, I feel like I'm a kink professional.
Well, so yeah.
A kink professional, if you will.
A kink professional. Okay, come on. Carry the crown.
A kink professional. But this is not the conversation I thought of. We talked about Whoopi Goldberg of all people. But okay. But yeah, so I mean, now being vanilla is also a kink, just FYI.
Okay.
So like if you intentionally like to stay within certain boundaries, then that could also be a kink.
I think sometimes I do because I don't want it to go anywhere else.
What do you mean?
Like I don't want to have an emotional connection, or I don't want to know that this person is like maybe could explore something further. If I'm looking for something quick, it's like, okay, let's just do it quick. Got to go about my business, and that's it.
Novelty.
Yeah.
Novelty. That is legitimately a kink, though. That is actually a thing.
So yeah, novelty is, I guess, my kink.
Shout out to you for discovering your kink. I'm here for it.
Hey,
I'm here for it. Okay. let's keep going. This week we witnessed an epic read delivered from the Honorable Jasmine Crockett of Dallas, Texas, my hometown. Bleach blonde, bad built, butch body. That is the T-shirt. Just I
She
should have
ate
got a
that.
T-shirt that said
She
that.
ate
She
that.
ate that. So it'll forever be ingrained in our minds. But I want to know, do y'all think she got that read from a black boy? She had to get that read from one of the girls.
Well,
Had
yeah,
to.
it's just like Housewives of Atlanta. That's how they were all getting their reads from the producers, who were definitely gay black men.
I feel, and now mind you, Jasmine Crockett do keep she keep a good fit. She keep a good wig on.
Yeah, the wig is all
Jasmine Crockett be laid now. She got to have help from gay culture to let her know that this is good versus this is bad.
100%.
And clearly, Marjorie Taylor Greene does not have any of the girls in her circle. Just look at that thumbnail. Like, look at Jasmine Crockett next to Marjorie Taylor Greene. You cannot tell me these two people are in the same caliber of person.
She might have a twink on her side.
Even especially a twink would be like, girl, this ain't giving.
I don't know if they're outspoken. That they're that outspoken.
Do you consider yourself a twink?
No.
Why not?
I'm not that skinny.
Yeah, I am I'm a good built butch body, so
I would say I'm in between twunk and
I give you twunk because you're hairy, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm hairy.
And you're a gym head, yes.
Yeah, and I'm 27, so like I'm kind of.
You're not the starry twunk, are you?
What's the starry twunk?
Okay, the starry twunk is this porn star.
Oh,
but no. he never shows his face. So of course, if you were starry twunk, obviously you probably wouldn't answer that.
Wait, I feel like he lives in New York. Maybe I think I know who you're talking about on Twitter.
He just said got a big ass dick, and and from what the girls from the OnlyFans girls say, he knows how to use it.
More power to him.
More power to him. I'm excited about that. Okay, let's keep going. That was it for the current events. Thank you, Saint Ahmad. We'll be right back for that. Not yet, Royce, because I know Royce got the trigger finger on. Okay, teammates. I got to get my buttons together. Just recently, news broke of the shooting death of Reginald Folks. He was an indie wrestler, a role model to his community, and allegedly suspected of being a member of a gay fraternity. This all happened in Atlanta, Georgia, just recently. As a brother of the second longest standing gay fraternity, I am saddened by his death. He was allegedly killed at the hands of a disgraced police officer who thought he was trying to kidnap and indoctrinate him into gay culture. It was a crazy story and a senseless death. But everybody on Team Dear Black Gay Men is keeping the family of Reginald Folks in our prayers. I want to appreciate his life, his legacy, and everything he brought to culture. I do not know him to be a gay man, but the death of any person in our culture, it needs to be honored.
True.
Okay. Every day, I'm reminded that Black gay love is revolutionary. Revolutionary in the way that Black gay men can love each other through our shared trauma and experiences. Tonight's show, hopefully, is going to figure out if interracial love can be just as revolutionary. Saint Ahmad.
Yeah.
Admittedly, I had my reservations about this particular topic. You want to know why?
Why?
So, Dear Black Gay Men, every episode I say this is a reminder of how dope it is to be Black gay men who love Black gay men. But I hear that you have never dated a Black man.
It's not that I've never dated a Black man. My serious relationships, I've only been in 2 really serious relationships. Got it. They've both been with white men.
Okay. And so, of course, everybody wants to know why. Why is it you've never found a serious connection with a Black man?
I've never found a serious connection with a Black man, and I don't think that it's specific to race. I just think that that's just like, for example, I grew up overseas, so I was an Army grad. My mom was in the Army for 21 years. I moved to Raleigh, North Carolina. I did 6th through 12th grade. I went to a predominantly white private school. I was only around white people. If I wanted to have a boyfriend, in high school, someone from my high school, he was probably going to be white because those were the men who were at my high school,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So yeah, I don't think, and I feel like I've even tried purposefully to like actively, oh, I'm gonna date a black guy, or I'm gonna go out and find a black guy that I want to date. So it's never been like me being anti anything.
Okay, what's been your difficulty?
I've been in a relationship now since 2019. So it's like, it's not, I don't think there is a difficulty because I mean, my relationship's open. So I've had sex with black men, you know?
Okay. Okay, so but you know that it sounds like you're saying we can fuck, but we can't be in love.
I don't know why people, I don't feel that way. Honestly,
Okay.
I don't feel that way. I feel like maybe if I wasn't in a relationship, things would be things would be different. But I am in a relationship. It's started in 2019. It's 2024 now.
Hmm.
So he just
And
happens
so
to also be a white man.
okay, so just so I can restate what you've said. You said you're not anti, so it's not that you would never consider.
Yeah.
It's just a you're in a relationship.
Yep.
So to the extent that your relationship allows, you do seek out connections with black men
100%.
that that fit into your relationship structure.
100%. Or are okay with me being in an open relationship because I find some black men don't like the open relationship conversation, or they don't like openness, or they don't like the fact that I have a partner and they can't be my main partner, you know?
Really? Talk to me about that now. So you say so just so I'm clear. You
I'm
are
getting canceled now. I hope this is not getting me canceled, this topic.
like I'm intrigued. So you're telling me that when you have conversations with the girls, the black men, right?
Yeah.
There are men that are even turned off to the idea that you're in an open relationship,
Yes.
regardless of who it's with. But the fact that you in a relationship, they don't want to touch you because of that.
Yes.
How does that even come up?
I mean, if I'm having intercourse with them regularly,
Okay.
your conversation, or honestly, I'm pretty open. Like on some apps, I'll put like an open relationship, and I
Okay.
know on Jack specifically, there are some profiles that will say, "Do not message me if you're in an open relationship," or "Not into guys who are in a relationship," or you know.
Okay, so because I don't play the field as far as dating, I have not dated anyone who isn't black in a very very long time. And so
Right.
my question is, do you get that same kind of pushback from other races?
In terms of what?
Like do you like have you ever had, been propositioning a Latino or another white guy or somebody else that's not black with the same information in your profile and they say the same thing?
That they're not into. No,
They
I feel like white guys are probably more open and more uh, less judgmental of open relationships. Same with other races as well.
Okay, I mean clearly you're not a white guy, but why do you think that is?
Why do I think that is?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know specifically. I don't know. I feel like a lot of gay black men have a lot of trauma that they don't deal with, and that comes out in ways of like not being open to men who are feminine, or only wanting men who are super super masculine and butched, or not being okay with like expressing themselves in the way that they dress in a certain way, and so they may
Mm-hmm.
project that trauma on other people. Internalized homophobia is a good word for it.
Oh my God, that is so big.
And I feel like there are a lot of gay black men who have internalized homophobia, and they don't want to talk about it, and they want to project it.
Okay. Okay. Because I got so many follow-ups. You said I got so many. Okay, but I gotta pay some bills. Okay. Later in the show, Saint Ahmad is gonna be answering your burning questions from the comments. But I want to hear from y'all now. Do we have the responsibility of accepting black gay men from all walks of life? Let me know in the comments if you know someone who is a judgy Judy when it comes to interracial relationships, or only wants to date a black king, in the words of Dr. Umar. Send them this YouTube live or tag them in the comments. This is Interracial Dating Explained. We will be right back. Oh, God. Listen. Put this on. Y'all remember BGC? I had to run in here and get this out because y'all see my hair's a mess. I'm in my workout clothes, but I remember them days. It was a time when the girls were simple. The stories were lit. The DMs were not always open because half of us still had a dial-up connection and you actually had to meet people. Then there was a time before that when we ain't had the internet at all. I remember the chat line. For Thirsty Thursday on Dear Black Gay Men podcast, we're having a drink with Lamont while he helps me and the girls figure out how to get offline and get in love. All right, teammates, welcome back to Thirsty Thursday right here on Dear Black Gay Men podcast. So before the show, Saint Ahmad, you mentioned, before the break rather, you said that you think that sometimes it's internalized homophobia or projected trauma that is the reason why black gay men, in your experience, are so limited in what they're willing to accept in dating and hookups, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so help me understand, how did you come to that realization?
Because I'm also a gay black man, and I feel like sometimes I've had internalized homophobia within myself, and had to like figure out like, okay, why am I super feminine, but sometimes I won't be into a guy who's feminine, even though they're beautiful.
You consider yourself super feminine?
I wouldn't say like super feminine. I would say like masculine feminine. Like I'm comfortable in my femininity, but like I like to, sometimes I wear a dress, or like sometimes like even in my performances I've worn wigs and I've worn heels. So I guess that could.
We just had one of them in the pre-show. I sent you.
Oh yeah. You've seen the video, but some guys will be like, oh my God, that's super feminine. I'm not into it, or I'm not into you.
Okay, but you do know that we have a term for that, and there are many people that are into it, because that's a butch queen.
I thought a butch queen is just like a gay black man.
No, a butch queen is like, they're every shape, size, and color. Like I'm a butch queen, you a butch queen. Butch queen, like I live my life as a man, but I got some flair.
Yeah.
Wear a skirt, wear a dress, wear a little makeup sometimes. I am not transitioning. I'm not trying to be a woman, but I explore every aspect of my femininity that I'm willing to express. That's a butch queen.
Okay, fair. Then but I feel like there are guys that are not into that.
But there are also lots of us who are absolutely into that.
And that's great.
Do you not? Okay. So let me get back. Go ahead. You find what?
I find though that there are probably more white men who are okay with being with someone who's feminine than there are more black guys who are okay with being with someone who's feminine.
Okay. And so I get that those are some of the difficulties with dating, potentially with dating a black man and dating in black culture. Because one thing that the aha moment that I had when we were talking about this show is that dating us is hard as hell. Mind you, my team is comprised of a whole bunch of us, and the vast majority of us are single for one reason or another. We've been filtered out of the masses of the dating pool for one reason or another. So I get that it's hard to do. But would you say that dating a white man is easier?
No, it's probably harder.
Okay. Why harder?
You have to explain a lot of things. There's a lot of conversations. There's a lot of words that you might have to explain, languages.
Mm-hmm.
They're also going to have to like be intuitive and pick up on certain things. Like if you guys are both booked for a hotel and one person's name is not on the hotel room, your partner has to know that every time you book a hotel, both your names have to be on the hotel room, and your partner has to also know that your partner is going to experience some microaggressions in the hotel. So my white partner can go freely to the elevator, but I'm going to get stopped. No matter how many times the security's seen me, no matter how many times the front desk has seen me, they're always going to keep an eye out for me because I look suspicious.
So, I mean, you're just describing the Black experience, which is,
Yeah,
I mean, that's the unfortunate truth about, living in America.
Living in America and being Black,
Okay.
But being with a white counterpart, they have to be smart enough to realize what's going on,
Have you ever dated somebody who wasn't that smart?
I would never date anyone that's not that smart, so that's a chop for me.
Okay. I mean, I'm with you and you're right. Okay. But what it sounds like you're saying though, and this is just your experience, because again, I intentionally do not want to make you the poster child for Black boys who are with white partners, Black men with white partners. But for your experience, what it sounds like you're saying is, in a interracial relationship, there's one level of work that you, Black man, have to put into making this relationship work, right?
Yeah.
But then there's a different level of work that you, Black men, have to put into your dating life in order to make it work. You got to sift through the dumbass niggas to find a Black man potentially that would love you for you, right?
Yeah.
Are those the same kind of work or the same amount of work? Because you putting your work in the relationship. It might have been easier to find a man who accepted you, but now you got to deal with all this other stuff in the relationship.
I don't know if one struggle is harder than the other.
Say more.
I don't think that, because I mean, you're in a relationship. You want to do the work to be in a relationship. You want to do the work to be with your partner, to make them happy, to understand them more, to better the relationship. But then also, like, dating is like, you want to work on yourself. You want to sift through, you want to set your boundaries, you want to set you don't want to drink the pickle juice, you want to accept the pickle juice.
So what I just heard that was really big for me is that, and I've said this on so many levels, but as you said it just resonated with me, is that when you're in a relationship, you want to do the work for your partner. And that actually is a truth that I don't think a lot of Black men internalize fully when we're single, is that there is a level of work that you have to do to make it work.
100%.
And I think that what you're saying is you found somebody willing to do the work.
100%. And for me, I feel like that's whether they're white, Black, Asian, whatever. It just so happened to be circumstantial that someone that I met is willing to do the work, and he happens to be a white man.
That's kind of pretty. That's pretty fucking big. Like, that was a bing, 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 aha moment for me. Now, we're in the full disclosure. I don't think I could date a white man, because all the work you talking about dealing with,
but see, that's
beyond my pay grade.
But then that's what I'm saying. It's like, why is it I don't think I can date a white man? Like, what about being in a relationship with someone who has a different skin color is so anti?
That's a good fucking question, and I'm glad you asked. I think that for me, there are so many aspects of my life that are just super Black that I don't think I'm willing to put in the work of explaining why this is. Why do I have to wrap my hair up at night? Why do I eat these kind of foods? Why do we have the family reunion? How do you all know these certain terms of phrase in our culture?
Why do you feel like that's you having to explain something versus just your partner getting to know you and your life and getting to know your culture and getting to know? It'd be the exact same thing as if you dated a Black man and he was from the islands, or you dated a Black man and he was from Europe or from France, or you would still have to explain the culture. You would still have to explain why things are different. You would still have to explain why you do certain things that you do
Mm-hmm.
differently, you know? Because being Black, there's so many different sects of being Black. It's not just one Black experience. So you can meet a Black gay man who doesn't have the same cultural experience as you, and you still have to sift and explain certain things.
Yes, I do agree. Now, for me specifically, I am the child of an American mother and a Kenyan father. So understanding cultural differences is part of the DNA of my life. And
Fair.
so I absolutely understand what you mean. It's just that in this culture, I walk into a room, my dad walks into a room, we are two Black men dealing with the same kind of oppression. Now,
Sure.
granted enough, he doesn't have a language barrier anymore, but my dad has an accent, and so there is a whole different level of oppression but I am not exempt from the oppression that would apply to him. I still got the same funny name, I still speak all the same languages, I still do all the things. The reason why dating a white man specifically for me is is a chop is because we are living in a white supremacist society. I cannot. He does not. He does not understand the level of oppression that I go through. We don't have a common thread in that experience.
But why is it so deep for him to, why can't he be your protector? Why can't he be someone who's like, okay, babe, I see the oppression that you go through. Maybe I can't fully empathize with it, but
Mm-hmm.
I can do the job to make you feel safe and make you feel heard and make you feel supported.
Because I don't need anybody to make me feel safe. I feel safe on my own. It's not that I need anybody. I don't need a partner to fix anything. I need a partner to
Support,
understand.
to understand and support, right?
I don't even need support. Like for instance, I would say I'm talking to somebody now. He is a Black man. I am a Black man. We just have a common thread in our experience that says I get it. I don't need him to march on Washington for me. I don't need him to pick to do
Yeah, it's
I
like
don't need him to stand in the gap for me. But when I say that's some fuck shit, I need him to understand
yeah,
why it's some fuck
it's an
shit.
unspoken
And
understanding,
right.
which I think that that's amazing, and I think that that's beautiful. And maybe one day, if I'm in dating again, I might have that experience. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like,
Well, no, I ain't gonna speak that your relationship going to end. Like I
no,
want
no,
if you have found love in
my
the
relationship is
song says
definitely not
hopeless,
going
right?
to end. I'm just like a very open minded person. You know,
Yes.
I'm very like a realist, and I'm open minded, and I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh my god, I'm only dating white men. I'm only interested in white men. I'm da 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 da. You know, like sure, maybe something could change. You know.
Right. But one thing that I absolutely respect about your perspective is that because I have spoken to Black men who said I don't date other Black men. I've spoken to them.
Yeah,
And
I'm not one of
they're off to that. And that's where my head went when we first floated the idea of having this conversation. What I respect is that it sounds like you were just open to love how it in whatever kind of body it comes, as
yeah.
long as that the relationship between you affirms who you are. Am I
Yes,
saying that right?
yes, and I think that even for me, it goes past color of the skin. Like I could probably be with someone who's non-binary. I could probably be with someone who's trans. You know, like
Trans in general?
both. Yeah,
You could be with a trans woman?
yeah,
Oh, okay. Now that adds a whole different layer that I absolutely respect. I could not be with a trans woman because it's a woman and I'm gay.
yeah. I feel like for me, it's a love thing. It's a connection thing. It's like I have my partner because I love you and we love each other, and I'm down for you, and you're down for me. I think that
See,
it's called what's demisexual or something like. No, it's not demisexual. Uh,
demisexual is like you love someone who intellectually stimulates you. Is
it's
I'm not up on all the different letters, but I
yeah,
know demisexual is intellectual stimulation. Pansexual is like
yeah. I feel like I probably would probably define myself as more pan than anything.
now that makes absolute sense to me now. Even Royce is nodding in the background. Like that makes total sense. Okay.
Yeah,
Now to lighten it up, for for everybody. So we've seen on social media this phenomenon. We've seen on social media this phenomenon of
I've seen
black wife
it.
effect, where white men get this glow up after simply being in a relationship with a black partner. And so, Saint, is there a such thing as a black boyfriend effect?
It's fun. Yeah.
Like, has your partner had a glow up since y'all have?
Yeah.
Where do you think that comes from?
I just think that Black people hold themselves to a different set of excellence and a different set of rules that.
Now I'm with you when you're right.
That other races don't. Like, we just not gonna put up with certain bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not coming out the house looking crazy. You know,
that's true.
Pants need to be ironed. Shirt needs to be pressed. Wash your teeth 2 times a day. Brush that tongue. You know, like that's just like.
Okay, I mean, I am with you when you're right.
I mean, they don't say white trash for no reason. You know what I'm saying? You never hear black trash.
I never hear black trash. That is very excellence. True. Okay. That makes me feel that makes me chuckle a little bit. It really does. It makes me chuckle a little bit. Okay, let's get ready for a break. That was good. You challenged me a little bit, Saint. I really appreciate that.
I'm happy. I feel like I'm not one of those people who are like, I'm only going to date white men. I just grew up in a very white society. My mom forced me to be around white people all the time. I did musical theater. I'm like an artist. I used to be in nightlife, a lot of New York nightlife. A lot of the clubs that I was working in were all white. So it's just circumstantial, you know?
Well, you know, the reason why you challenged me is because every time you say I'm not only dating or I don't exclude, in my head, I can hear myself saying I only date black men and exclude everybody else. And we haven't changed each other. Clearly, you are in a relationship. I'm single as hell. Not single as hell anymore because I'm not talking to somebody. But you get what I'm saying. But so you've challenged me. I appreciate that. We're getting ready to talk about your music after the break. But later in the show, Saint is going to be answering our burning questions. But remember, during the break, I want to hear from y'all. What is a red flag of someone outside your race? If you are dating interracially, what would be a red flag that would come up? Let me know in the comments. If you've got a friend that is scared to date outside of their race because of what other people will think, send them this YouTube live or tag them in the comments on Insta, because this is Interracial Dating Explained, and we will be right back.
Did you know that there are more than 38.4 million people living with HIV globally? Or that 13% of people who have HIV in the US don't know it? Did you know that there are HIV vaccine clinical trials throughout the US to find a vaccine that can stop HIV? Or that they need volunteers? Learn more about how you can help at helpendhiv.org.
Thursday right here on Dear Black AB Podcast. Be sure to hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button if you are enjoying this content. Saint, we talked about your personal life, which I appreciate. Thank you for that. Now we're going to talk about your music. So you have a new EP out called Minds. What was the inspiration?
Growing up super religious. Honestly, the inspiration was the gay Black experience and trying to talk about my experience and be truth to myself.
Okay. And so when you say the gay Black experience, what do you mean by that?
So, like,
for those who haven't heard the music
I grew up super religious. My mom was very anti me being gay. I went to like different forms of conversion therapy.
In turn, conversion therapy?
Yeah, but it was like spiritual conversion therapy. So it's like this kind of therapist that's like, the reason why you're feeling the way you're feeling is because God's not pleased with you, and God's not like happy with the person that you're becoming. And on a scale of 1 to 5, this is how he feels. Like that kind of more like psychological.
Okay, that could be a whole show by itself. We can't go down that rabbit hole.
Y'all should do a show on that, because I could actually
conversion therapy. Really?
Yeah.
Did that make you gayer?
Well, I wasn't even having sex then, so I was just sitting there like, ma'am, I don't know if I'm gay. The only reason why I'm telling people that I'm gay is because everyone's saying I'm gay because I'm flamboyant. So.
But do you consider yourself, because you said really femme, you said you think you're flamboyant? I don't think you're that gay. I think you're like a normal level of gay.
And that's the thing is, like, looking back, I don't know why people call me so flamboyant, because I walked on my tippy toes, high heels on my tippy, and I
tiptoeing your heels.
I was very,
that sound.
And I had on my Facebook that I wanted to be a black sassy black girl, just as a joke. One of my friends put that as my job. And
how old were you when you put that?
Like 8th grade.
You had Facebook in 8th grade? Now I feel so fucking old. Facebook didn't come out till I was 20 years old. And you still had to have an EDU address when I got Facebook. I remember them days, but go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. That was flamboyant to them. You know, when you're around a lot of Christian people who are very like, oh, praise God, you know, hallelujah, praise God. Any sorts of difference to them is extreme.
Yes. Trust me, I grew up Church of Christ. I know.
So with my EP, I wanted to showcase that, like, I grew up super religious. I moved to New York. I got into club culture. I got into techno music. I got into dark rooms. I got into gayness, and I wanted to talk about that in different types of ways. That's like why all the songs are kind of like very different. It sounds like
yes.
It sounds like each song could be in a different genre, and I finish it off with.
You know, genres are a very funny thing. Beyonce just told us that.
Genres are a very funny thing, and I finish it off with like a very like techno kind of like sex club. I say like ego, the Eagle kind of song, and that's because that's where I am right now in my self-discovery of the gay black experience. Is like I have been discovering like sex clubs and dark rooms and bathhouses and group sex and that kind of stuff.
It's so funny that you say you're discovering all of that and then call yourself vanilla.
I'm 27 years old. I'm still figuring it out.
But just the idea that you are going on a journey to figure out any of that is like the antithesis of vanilla.
Okay, so that maybe that
vanilla is like pillow princess, everything in a bedroom,
so
with
let's say
candlelights and whatnot, and you like busting down Tatiana.
I'm open-minded. I'm just discovering myself and what I like and what I don't like. I'm not trying to be like closed off to the gay experience, you know?
Yes, I see that, but that ain't vanilla. Vanilla is closed off to everything.
Yeah, no, I'm not like that. I want to go to the different countries. I want to go to Brazil for Christmas and see what it's like. I heard Brazil is.
So one of my team members is Brazilian, and he says the same thing.
Yeah, I need to go.
I love that. I wish I could make that a sound. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so where can people download your music? Where can we find
Spotify, Apple Music, Saint Ahmad on all streaming platforms.
Okay, so if you had to say who is your music for, you said what is inspired by, but who is your music for? When you went into the sound booth, when you were recording this album, who did you have in mind?
Men who look like me, men who may have had like similar experiences where they were kind of forced to be something that they didn't want to be, and then grew up and were able to finally tap into the person that they actually saw for themselves.
I think that's really dope. What I appreciate about that is that from what I've heard of your music, you definitely take us on a journey, and it sounds like you are still on that journey, as we all should be. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, I just want to be like authentic to myself, specifically with that EP, because the mainstream music is like very poppy and very easy to make. But I feel like that niche of like, this is my experience, you can't like go back and remake that kind of stuff, you know?
That's very true. It
can
sounds very
grow
Taylor Swift to you.
Well, because I can grow into becoming like a big pop star, you know, and that's kind of like what I'm leaning towards. But I can't start off with these like big pop songs and then all of a sudden be like, oh yeah, I want to talk about sex clubs. It's like, why?
Yes, you can. Beyonce did.
Did she?
I
love the queen. Wait, I love the queen. I love the queen. I love Beyonce. I love Beyonce. I'm a huge Beehive fan, by the way. I love. Beyonce.
But Act 1 was playing in the last sex club I've been to.
What song was they playing in the sex club?
Just a little mix of everything. But then again, so I will tell you, while I love Beyonce, I am a card-carrying member of the Beehive. I'm actually on the board of governors, but Beyonce is probably the unsexiest music because I can't focus on anything else. Like when she plays, I want to sing the song and
I gotta be
like I want to fully queen out, and I can't like stroke it good if I'm being Beyonce.
Yes, I can't either.
There's that. All right, after the break, Saint Ahmad and I are going to be answering your burning questions. Make sure you drop them in the comments. I'm very excited about this conversation. We will be right back. Get in the conversation. This comment says, I did a good job. It's time for a congratulatory ejaculation session. Chat live on the show and get exclusive content.
The bottoms are going to eat me up for this in the chat.
Join the Dear Black Gay Men Insiders group on Facebook. All right, teammates, welcome back to Thirsty Thursday right here on Dear Black Gay Men Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and hit the thumbs up button so you never miss a live show or when we upload here at Dear Black Gay Men. So this segment is called Burning Questions because we're going to answer all your burning questions here on Dear Black Gay Men Podcast, and I got a good one. I think you've kind of answered this one, but it's still a good one to me. So this question is from... Of course, I got to get back to it. So this question is from the comments on YouTube. It's a comment from Ty C Chronicles. He says, I don't mind dating outside my ethnicity. However, I have conditions. They have to support my community. They already have to know about the culture. I shouldn't have to explain shit on everything. No fetishization. Their friends need to be diverse. When it comes to racial discussions from our perspective, it is to just listen. I'm open, but honestly, it would be easier to be with a black man, even though we have issues within our community. What we need to learn, accept, and really heal. So the question that he has is, should other races have to be up on black gay culture before dating us? What do you say, Saint?
Yeah.
They gotta come woke.
I don't know if necessarily like I hate that word, come woke, because then that assumes that they're all knowing and like know about everything, and that's not gonna happen. But I need to know that Black Lives Matter.
Okay. So could they say all lives matter?
No, baby. What? No. That's an immediate chop. Immediate. Like, why?
Okay, so no, all lives matter. So they can't be, like we talked about earlier, they can't be MTG, because MTG has said Black Lives Matter along the same line as, white lives, blue lives, green lives matter. She said all of that.
And you also have to be with, okay, I might cop an attitude with you about your behavior. And you might get cussed out every once in a while.
Okay, let's talk about that. Hallelujah. You might get cussed out about what?
Your microaggressions.
So
not being aware about your microaggressions.
So is it a normal occurrence because this is me just being naive. Like, is it a normal occurrence for you to have to call out someone's microaggressions in a relationship? Call out your partner's microaggressions. Does that happen regularly for you?
No.
Is it because they don't occur, or is it just because, you give them grace because it's your man?
I don't think that they occur. We spend a lot of time with each other, so I feel like, it just doesn't occur. But I know that I have seen other couples that are in interracial things, and some of some of the like microaggressions of like, oh yeah, like, are you gonna cook for me? I'm like, my partner would
like
not.
Gerard fucking Carmichael. On this
My
different topic.
my partner would, yeah, like that kind of stuff. I'm like, my partner is never allowed to speak to me that way ever.
So the interesting thing is, and this is not microaggressions on a racial basis, but I have dated people who say like, so I'm not living with HIV. I say that on the show all the time, but I can't stand people who say like clean or drug and disease free or use HIV as an insult. And so
That's
I
very,
have to call out those kind of quote microaggressions all the time when I'm dating somebody.
but so then yeah, so you experience microaggressions only dating Black men.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like, opening my eyes here, because I really do.
And then
Like,
you have
if somebody asks me if you're mask or femme, I'm femme as hell, regardless of what I am. I'm femme as hell. Like, if that's a filter for you, I'm gonna say what you don't want to hear because I just want you to get out of my inbox. If that's important for you, because I don't do femme shaming, I don't do status shaming, I don't do bottom shaming, I don't do that shit.
And a big thing is, I feel like a lot of Black gay men don't want to get on PrEP and don't want to get tested, which is a major red flag and a chop.
Now, I think I'm a little outside of that because I've worked in HIV. I talk about HIV all the time. I don't think I deal in spheres of people who are anti knowing your status.
Do you use Jacked?
No.
Oh.
Jacked is the one app I'm like, I use all the rest of them.
But, okay, but how are you only wanting to date Black men, but you don't use the app that is specific for only dating Black men? Because if you go on Grindr, most of that feed is going to be white.
Well, also, I live in Atlanta, Georgia. Every app where I live is Black.
Okay.
Every single app. Like, if I opened up any app right now, the first four swipes, all Black people.
Okay. Oh, well, okay. Okay. Period.
Now, I've never lived in an atmosphere like this because I'm from Texas, and so I've lived in very mixed communities. But my experience is just set up to where I don't, like, ignorance has no race, and so it could be, you know, any type of person that would be like that would say I don't want to know my status, or I don't get tested, or has no answer when I talk about HIV. I would never engage with that person ever.
Same.
So I don't have to deal with that level of ignorance just because, like, I don't even have an awareness around that part of our community existing. I get that they do exist. It's just I ain't never ran into them, or at least not recently. This has really been a very eye-opening conversation.
I'm happy.
I'm kind of excited about it. We're going to have you back on.
Good talk. Yeah. I feel like
we're not done, but we're going to have you back on. All right. That was Burning Questions. For those that joined us with questions, I've got something special for you. Find out what it is after the break, and we will be right back. What is stigma? I truly believe that it comes up when you think something can't happen to you. Like when we think we could never be femme, so we end up with femmephobia laced all up and through our dating profiles. Or when we don't be out there like that, so we slut shame people for doing openly what we try to sneak and do privately. But there aren't too many spaces where stigma rises to a criminal level like it does with HIV.
Knowingly gave her HIV and never told her he was infected.
We're talking to 4 Black men from across the country, all living with HIV. I want to see how stigma comes up in their lives and what we can all do to overcome it. All right, teammates, I would like to thank my guest, Saint Ahmad, for joining us. You can connect with him on IG and listen to his EP, Minds, on all platforms, and catch him in WeHo and at Raleigh Pride this June. Links to all of that are in the description. So dating is hard to do on every front, for every race, for every gender, for all of us, especially in 2024 on Cicely Tyson's internet. Dating is difficult. Our goal tonight wasn't to give anybody encouragement to date or not date on a racial basis, but our goal is to give everyone the encouragement enough to try dating on whatever level works for you. Saint Ahmad found his level. He found his person. He found a kind of love that absolutely affirms and supports him. And that is our goal for everybody. We want you to find love that works for you in whatever body that might be in. So for all of us, dear Black gay men, this is still your weekly reminder of how dope it is to be Black gay men who love Black gay men, but no shade if he is not Black. All right, teammates. That was our show. I am Jay the Gentleman. That's at JAI the Gentleman on IG and Facebook. If you want to support Dear Black Gay Men podcast, the easiest way to pick up to some Dear Black Gay Men merch, you can get a hat or hoodie, and you can shop now at dearblackgaymen.shop. I am Jay the Gentleman. This has been Dear Black Gay Men podcast, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.